Fairly,
What are you doing?
Fairly stupid.
Who? You?
Huh? Shuffle. But you can come. Huh? Shuffle. But you can come.
You can come.
Huh?
You want this
Shuffle.
up here?
But you can come. Some of you been.
Sorry.
Just never gets old.
No, everybody, welcome back to Doug Get Live. I'm J. Tyler.
I am your Miss Parker.
We just got finished eviscerating this asshole. And this asshole. And I got eviscerated. No. Hey, look.
Hey, look, it's a Florida man.
It's Florida man. Why not?
Florida man of that's the one who was wagging his tallywhacker at people.
No tallywhacker.
Through their door. Well, I'm sorry. It applies in this case because I can just see that guy saying, "Want to look at my tallywhacker? You want to look at my tallywhacker?" Anyway,
I am the J. Tyler.
I am your Miss Parker, and
Republicans have sex all wrong.
Yeah, if you just look at the first three words. Yeah, Republicans have sex all wrong.
Republicans have sex. Oh, Ed all wrong. Oh, okay, never mind. Sex ed, band name.
You know, it's almost as though she didn't put sex education in there deliberately because she wanted people to trip over the word ed. Just say Republicans have sex all wrong. Okay, so
if you ask, then
this is an article from The Atlantic. Can you scroll up? I just want to check her name one more time.
Oh,
okay,
Olga
Khazan wrote this for The Atlantic, and it's a really good editorial analysis about
what a happy picture.
What's going on in Florida and how wrong it is, what they're doing with sex education. And
so our word for the week was grooming.
Yeah. So this kind of dives into what grooming is and isn't, and what sex education, the kind of sex education that is actually happening in schools, how much better it is than in places that don't.
Pray tell, because honestly, if Republicans are talking about grooming, they have all the knowledge. So I definitely want to hear their opinions on grooming.
Yeah, there's a mention in here of an anti-grooming seminar or something, and it's like, I want to hear what they're saying.
I bet Republicans know everything about grooming.
And I bet they don't publish that information. What is published is the curriculum that's being taught now.
That's right. She showed it to me and I fell asleep immediately. It's literally a fucking technical manual on.
It's called Different Kinds of Families, a lesson plan from rights, respect, and responsibility, a K-12 curriculum. And
right. And then she also put up nude Florida man. So I just completely lost track of that.
Yeah, that we talked in the last segment about people putting things together that don't belong together, and
talking about technical manuals about Republican sex issues and naked Florida man. No, sorry, not interested in technical manual.
To be fair, it's actually a technical manual for educating. It's actually a curriculum for educating K-12 kids about sex. And they put the whole thing up there. Nothing's hidden. So you get to see what's in the curriculum. But I'm guessing that their anti-grooming seminars are going to be shh.
Yeah. The first rule about sex club is we don't talk about sex club.
Yeah. The first rule about grooming club is we don't talk about grooming club.
Yeah. Why are you talking about that?
Okay, so this is the article in The Atlantic. If you ask some, many.
A little bit of exposure. No pun intended. Pun intended.
If you ask some, many conservative pundits, Democrats are grooming children, as in grooming them to be abused by pedophiles. Some Republicans have even accused Democrats of being pedophiles themselves. Now, grooming them to be abused by pedophiles, that is a leap that I cannot even fathom. How is talking to kids about even just genitals, how is that grooming them?
Right. I got what you were saying earlier.
For pedophiles.
We were talking about it, and you were saying that it was like illustrating, it's like, yeah, you got a penis, you got a vagina, get over it, here you want some more information about how those things work. Really, you should be talking to your parents about this, but your parents are Republicans.
And they're going to shit a brick that you even know what a vagina is
Yeah,
if
they
you're a
don't-
boy. Yeah.
Nobody got time for that.
Yeah. The grooming charges lumped together concerns that kids are being introduced too early to sexually explicit material.
What, dude? They literally think that, like, it's funny because these people are so pent up, especially the fucking centenarians that they are, right? It's like that's what they are. When they were looking at sex ed, they got a boner, and
Yeah.
they consider that porn, dude. And then they see porn. So look, if you've seen porn and you've seen a sex ed video, you know there's a difference, unless you're Republican.
When I saw my first porno, I
Wow, how did they film that? With
Film.
a
okay,
with
shut
a-
up.
How did they wait, what?
So
It's impossible.
the one
But she
thing
performed.
the one thing that I knew because I was educated,
amphitheaters hold 2,000 people.
yeah, right.
Loaf of bread.
I was a teenager and I was babysitting and the kids went to bed. And so I found the parents' porn and I watched it. And the one thing that I knew was that what was going on in that porno was not what I would expect from sex.
So, I mean, like most of us figure out that like things that you see on the TV are not actually always real.
Yeah.
And so there's just like, wait a minute, these people are having sex and they filmed it. And then what? It's like, no, they're getting paid, son.
Yeah. To entertain adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. I shouldn't have been watching the
mostly
porn. I was not an
Republicans.
adult.
Yeah.
But no, it's fine. Okay. So
Hey, you know what triple X stands for? Extra, extra, extra kissing.
I thought it meant
That's
triple
what
X chromosomes, which makes a calico kitty.
Oh.
Anyway, this is another example of making connections that
Yeah.
absolutely
This is, if you guys haven't figured out, the
makes
theme
no
for the
sense.
day is just these
and the
it's
word
just
for the week is
insane
grooming.
allegories.
Yeah,
right?
so
Like,
kids are being introduced to sexually explicit material, to the existence of transgender people. How are those two things related?
because the right-wing Republicans that are 70 years old, like I said, by the way, did I mention they're 70 years old? By the way, do you gonna listen to anybody of these people talking about porn? But their idea of porn was a sexually explicit conversation about the reproductive organ. Like that was porn to them.
How is talking about transgender people porn?
I fucking have no idea, but I bet.
How is that
I bet.
sexually
Hey,
explicit?
how is talking about transgendered people as they relate to inflation a
well,
thing?
yeah. Well,
I don't know. I don't know how you guys come up with these batshit crazy, like, just again, it's just one thing and one thing.
my guess is that it's like abortion. It's a wedge issue, and they are not necessarily idiots themselves, but they cater to idiots. So they believe that they can make a wedge issue to get votes.
Is it so hard for you guys to believe that somebody might tell you exactly what you want to hear to gain your support and then give you nothing? While they're just making batshit crazy claims that are easily disproved.
Well, it's that meme of the the big fat white guy who looks like he's probably from Kentucky or something like that. And he says, I don't care if you rob me blind as long as the money's not going to the gays and the Mexicans. And that's not exactly what it said, but it's
Cool.
basically that.
Hey, look, I got a gun. Do you have any money, fool? I would have just said, give me your money. Don't make me rob you, is what I would say.
Well, the clever thing about it is when they do it the way they're doing it, then the person that they're duping makes the choice. It's not like having a gun. It's like, well, I don't like gay people and he doesn't like gay people, so I'm gonna vote for him.
I'm writing an album. Republicans, chapter 1. Don't make me rob you.
Because, yeah, he'd probably shoot you with
No,
an
I mean,
arrow.
you're making me, by not giving me the money I'm asking you for, you're making me rob you. It's like, why would you make me rob you?
How would you rob? Never mind.
No, I
That's-
would ask them for money. If they didn't give me the money, then I would be forced to rob them to
Right.
get the money.
You'd be forced to use force to get the money.
Yeah, why are you making me rob you? This is what they're doing. These are just a set of these insane stories that we heard that are so, where it's just like, how the fuck can you say that, right? Versions of this, the Don't Say Gay bill, of course. Ugh, dick.
Okay, so in March, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed what critics have dubbed Don't Say Gay bill, a measure that discourages teachers from discussing gender identity or sexual orientation in classrooms. Again, that's not sex.
Mm.
If you're talking about heterosexual attraction, it is no less, or it's no less sexual than same-sex sexual attraction. Did I say that right?
Sound good enough to me.
So if you're going to talk about, if it's okay to talk about straight people having sex or straight people being attracted to each other, you don't even need to say sex, just talk about the feelings that you will have for the opposite sex. It's no more pornographic or sexual if you talk about people of the same sex being attracted to each other. It's just attraction. It's just sex. It's not pornographic when it's same sex. And the same thing with gender. It's like you don't have to talk about, you don't even have to mention genitals if you're talking about transgender
Kids
people.
get it.
Yeah.
Like, they get it. They get what you're putting down. They understand the concept.
You don't need to be explicit. You don't need to be that explicit. You can say this is a vagina, this is a penis. If you're born female, you probably have a vagina. If you're born male, you probably have a penis. There are variations. So
people like DeSantis and the visceral reaction the right wing has been having is it's directly correspond to like their comfort level with speaking about sex, right? They're talking about grooming. If you're against the anti-grooming bill, you're probably a groomer, or
yeah, that's what he's saying.
It's just like that idea. It's just like, oh, dude, the level of projection here is palpable. I can feel it. You guys don't want to talk about something that's happening, meaning kids are being touched, because you don't want to talk about it. Leads me to sort of look into your closet.
Yeah. Oh, I have an anecdote. When you mentioned that they are so uncomfortable about talking about sex. When I was in high school.
Why can you not say penis?
I know.
What? Why?
Madison Cawthorn, why do you have to say fucking tallywhacker, you dumbass?
So that we can get a dope airdrop.
Yeah, that's true. But when I was in high school, my freshman year, we had
wait.
Oh, shut up!
Fill in the rest of this.
Okay. So I went. The school I went to
allegedly has a penis.
The school I went to had an open campus.
So many stories.
And what that meant was that we could come and go
concentrate.
Concentrate.
Sorry, pay attention.
Just listen.
I'm trying my best.
Do I have to put tape over your mouth?
I'm giggling.
It's not funny, actually, what I'm about
I know,
to say.
but everything you've said up to this moment has been funny, and now I'm about to have my hopes and dreams crushed.
Just so you know, we're going to go a little long here, it looks like, unless we cut it off and start again, which we might want to do. But I'm going to tell this story. We had an open campus, which meant students could leave and come back as they had time to. We had a modular schedule where you'd have huge breaks between classes. It was kind of like a college curriculum. And the disadvantage to the open campus was adults who didn't have any business being on campus were coming on campus. And my freshman year was pretty much being molested in the hallways. And I saw what happened to girls who reported it. They were interrogated as much as, and the offender.
Well, I mean, if you're going to report something, look, you should have gone and done it like not the 90s style and just got a boyfriend who you then sent over to mash this.
I didn't
fuck
want
in
to
your
have a
face.
fucking boyfriend in
But
ninth
whatever,
grade.
you
They were
just
guys were assholes.
Find a sympathetic dude.
No,
I
no,
love-
no,
hey,
no, 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 no. You don't understand.
Here on KRT, we have a particular affinity for the joy that we get from watching rapists and Nazis get their asses beat.
I hate to say this to you, but I went to school in the hood, and
Berkeley.
No, it was Richmond. The guys that would come onto campus, they would fucking kill you. I'm not joking.
No,
there were huge crowds of them. They would fucking kill you.
Talk about West.
They had weapons, they had guns, they had knives, and they were traveled in packs.
We're talking about Northern California.
They would fucking kill you.
So
no, listen. There's a point to this story. So those guys, you know, there would be an incident, and I remember this one girl just like screamed and hauled off and hit the guy, and a security guy on campus grabbed both of them and dragged them off like it was. They were both like they were in a fight, but no, he grabbed her ass. So that was my message. That was the message I got: is you can't report this stuff because you'll be treated just as badly.
How do you know what happened? But I mean,
how do I know what happened?
I mean, what if they were like girlfriend, boyfriend? Or was this like
no? She reacted. She was screaming.
He grabbed ass and she screamed.
Yeah. She had never seen this guy before. He was probably from off campus.
But then they got dragged. Both of them got dragged.
Yeah, they were dragged off like they had gotten in a fight. So this went on my entire freshman year. I never told my parents because my mother wouldn't have known what to do. My father would have flipped out and then gone full racist and blamed me for it somehow. So for being a slut or whatever.
Damn.
But I was only, molested on a daily basis, pretty much. And finally, a couple of girls, more than a couple of them, they were seniors and they were a lot braver than I was. They went to a school board meeting and they all stood up and they said, "We are getting sexually assaulted on a daily basis on campus. What the fuck are you guys going to do about it? This has got to stop."
And they're like, "Pick up that butter churn and go back to work." That's all she went.
They're like, "Well, maybe you shouldn't dress like a slut." Anyway.
Yeah, that was about that time.
Well, but what happened was after that, I went to my friend worked for the school newspaper and she had to report on one of the school board meetings. And so I went with her and they were literally on the school board was up on the stage and the superintendent literally, he said, "Well, I guess we need to decide if a slap on the rear is considered sexual harassment." They
formed a committee to decide whether or not slapping a chick.
Pretty much. And he turned beat red.
And just like, we've been doing this for decades and now it's not okay anymore.
Yeah, suddenly it's not okay. And this guy is turning red. And I don't know if he was angry or he was embarrassed.
Now.
But he was very uncomfortable. Yeah. But he was he was like an old 70-year-old, probably conservative who was holding his tongue, wanting to say these women are sluts. They're probably wearing tube tops and the guys can't control themselves. So my point was that you have the people in charge are so uncomfortable with the subject matter.
No, they're like this.
That they're hurting kids.
All right. Are we done with this for now?
And we can come back to it because there's a lot more into it. There's a lot more to it. But we should probably clip this off now because we're almost at 20 minutes.
Yeah, look, what they're saying in my mind, what I've gotten from what you're saying is that they can we just go back to when nobody talked about it?
Yeah.
Should we just go back?
Because I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have to say penis.
I don't remember this happening when I was a kid. It's like, yeah, because they didn't report on it.
I know.
And you were the kid.
Yeah, you were the kid doing it. You were the unleashed dog.
And you didn't even
needed
know
a
it.
Fucking
you
leash.
just didn't even know it because it was just normal to you.
Yeah.
Well, what's normal in 1970 is not normal in 2022. So
Right.
just because you guys are uncomfortable with her mouthiness doesn't mean that I get to tell her shut up. Like, right?
Well, you can, but
It never works.
I'll punch your throat when we get off camera. So I can't do that on camera. It's evidence.
All right, we'll be back with some more anger.
Some more outrage. And
Real anger.
this is an interesting story. So anyway,
I would like to direct this to the distinguished members of the panel. You lousy
fucking
cocksuckers.
superintendent.
You have violated my fucking rights. This summon country.
Hey, you guys, I am the J. Tyler.
I am your Miss Parker.
And this
is Nothing Yet Live.
ish.
Ish.